Hi there, welcome to Kneppy Invest and welcome to July 15, 2024. I mentioned in the technical update video that I was thinking of doing a JB Hi-Fi video, probably titled something like, Is JB Hi-Fi a sell? I've actually recorded that video and I mentioned that I thought the video would be between 6 and 8 minutes long or something like that. It ended up being about 23 minutes long. So my intentions are to release that video on the morning of Tuesday, the 16th of July. I'm still undecided on whether to take profits. I believe the share price last time we looked, it was down a little bit. Even though the market has had an update today, down about 1%. So maybe there is a bit of profit taking right now with the JB Hi-Fi. I'll probably have a little bit of time in making that decision. However, if they do release a negative trading update, yeah, that's probably the only thing that could go pear-shaped for my decision making when it comes to JB Hi-Fi. Anyway, so the agenda for today's video, almost identical to all the videos, no tweets. I have not had a look at Twitter or X because of what happened in America with Trump, because there's just a ridiculous amount of tweets about that. And then what I'll do is have a look at the ASX Today, the best and worst performing indices, sectors, and also companies. And then we do have a top 5 stocks of the day. I had about 15 announcements to choose from today. And what I'll do is I'll touch upon 10 of these announcements fairly quickly. I'll have a look at the top 5 stocks of the day. And I'll also have a look at a company that released an announcement after trading began. That company is Lifestyle Communities, released an announcement at 10:42 a.m. I just had a look, response to media, and a lot of times when you see a response to media announcement, titled announcement, it could be good news. It could be in regards to speculation about a takeover. This is not good news. It is not speculation about a takeover. And Lifestyle Communities share price is down 15.6%. So even though that company did not make it in top 5 because it was released after 10 a.m., I will talk a little bit about that company. And then we might have a look at some charts, including my spec trades, which last time I looked were doing spectacularly well. In fact, I do have a watch list now in, what do you call this? ComSec. It's called Spec Trades. And, oh, apparently it's not working. There we go. And yeah, a couple of companies are up. What's this one called? I-88 again. Infini is up 22.3%. And Keely Resources is up 15.8%. So at this point in time, last time I looked, and this was via Share Site, this particular portfolio is up almost 10% since the start of financial year. And I expected this portfolio would not perform. It's performing really well right now. So I'm interested to see how this portfolio or this strategy performs for the rest of the financial year, because it's going against my expectations. Now, to be honest with you, it's only 2 weeks and 1 day into the financial year, so it could go completely the wrong way over the next 50 weeks or so. But so far, it's doing really well. Anyway, I think I was going to, yeah, I'll have a look at some of these charts of these companies, including Infini, and what's the other one? So I don't even know the names. Infini and Keely Resources. Also noticed there was a question from Each Day Traders for BF. And they did ask about, this person did ask about Infini, in fact. So I might touch upon this particular question and maybe even a few other questions towards the end of the video, because hopefully this video won't go an hour long. Anyway, so let's get to the ASX Today. And generally a pretty good day, apart from small caps, down a little bit. Tech's had a pretty good day, which is not a surprise because NASDAQ had a little bit of bounce on the Friday session. And that was not a surprise because they had a pretty bad day the previous day for some reason. Well, we'd all know the reason why, but the market just went silly on that Thursday session because of slightly lower than expected inflation. And there was a bit of a rotation from the tech companies, the big tech companies, into the small caps. Okay, so let's have a look at the best and worst performing sectors. We already know IT's had a pretty good day today, up 1.36%. And according to this, all sectors is up, although industrial's only up 0.26%. But generally, a pretty good day when you look at this. Now, when it comes to indices, again, the XTX, the All Technology Indice, has had a pretty good day. But let's have a look at the rest of the indices, because this is not all of them. And yeah, it's a day of tech and discretionary and comm services. While on the flip side, not a good day to be invested in emerging companies. So these are companies that are between about, was it 300 and 600 on the ASX by market cap? Or sorry, it contains up to 200 companies that rank between 350 and 600. So like a small cap, but not tiny cap companies. They don't have a list of companies within the indice, which I'd love to see, because that just tells me what companies are in it. I suppose you could easily tell. And the way to easily tell is, I'm pretty sure Market Index, in fact, has a list of companies somewhere. Somewhere. I'm pretty sure they have a list of companies. List of companies. Market Index. Whoops, I don't have to put Market Index. What's happening here? List of companies. List of ASX companies. There you go. And it's waiting. It's waiting. So here we are. So there should be like 2,000 odd companies here, I would assume. I shouldn't go all the way down. So let's go all the way down. And this is ranked by market cap. So let's go to 350. And 350 starts at a company called, well, it's an ETF. So I want to see if we can exclude all the ETFs. I don't care about ETFs, which is annoying. Okay, so let's go a little bit further down. We'll go to about 370 or so. So we're talking about companies I have never heard. Capstone Copper Corporation, market cap 767 million. We have Superloop, Paragon Care. Funny enough, Superloop and Paragon Care, I'm actually trading. And both those companies are actually down today. Macquarie Group, that's not right. Macquarie Group, GPE, Media, Unibale, Rodamco, Westfield, BCI Minerals, Metals Acquisition, Qualitas, Cobram Estate Olives, Botanics is in there. There you go. GWA Group, Maya Holdings, Hotel Property Investments, Ridley Corporation. Just going through this, there is a lot of ETFs on the ASX. Ridley Corporation, Lotus Resources, Pepper Money, Maruka Investments, Chrysos Corporation, and Strike Energy. And there's all these other ones. Westpac Banking Corporation, EI. No idea. Airlie Australian Share Fund, Phineas, Regal Investment Fund, PYC Therapeutics, Leo Lithium Info Media. So those are some of the companies that are in the emerging companies list. Okay. So that's had a bad day today. Down 0.38%. I wonder why. So that is in the realm of small caps, I suppose. And small caps have had not a good day because of their absolutely brilliant day last Friday or Thursday, whatever day it was. In fact, updated now, down 0.1%. Okay, so let's have a look at the ASX 20. I actually do like doing this. Let's have a look at the ASX 20. It's up 0.58%. Every single sector is up. IT is the best, discretionary, then telecommunications. So I'm guessing WiseTech's had a good day, maybe REA Group, Telstra's had a good day. What else has had a good day? Let's have a look. I'm going to say maybe 4 or 5 companies are down, the rest are up. Oh, wow, one company down, 19 up. Did not expect that. So which lonely company is down today? And that is Goodman Group, which is a real estate company, or REIT, some people call it. It's not really. And the best performing company is WiseTech, which makes sense. Then we have Fortescue, Wesfarmers, REA Group, and Woodside. So pretty good day if you are heavily invested in the ASX 20. And I'd say a lot of Australian investors are heavily invested in the ASX 20 because a lot of investors, that's all they know, the big companies. And trust me when I say that, I have seen other people's, not viewers, other people that I know, their portfolios, and it's just stock full of big companies. I've seen some portfolios with the 4 big banks, Macquarie Group, Woolworths, Telstra, BHP, and that's it. not my portfolio. Okay, so let's go and have a look at the best and worst performing companies. Company coming in number one by percentage change is Eldoro Resources, up 47.89%. Then we have Moshio, Addison, Middle Island Resources, and Pointera has been on a tear. I'm going to have a look at the chart for Pointera. Right now, I'm thankful I kept holding in this company because this is two big up days in a row. After that, we have Cerebellum and SenSen Networks. You might say, well, SenSen Networks has only had turnover of $597, up 25%. But this company did make it into my top 5 announcements of the day. And there's a reason behind that, which I'll talk about. And then Infini Resources up 21.62%, which I am trading. Now, out of these announcements, just based on the turnover, I'm just going to have a look at the first one. I have a feeling none of these companies have released anything today. I just want to verify that. No, this company did. Eldoro Resources, 62.4% niobium recovery achieved for Camille Berg. And the ticker for this company is ARN. I'm just going to have a look at the chart for this company. Not a lot of turnover, so there hasn't been much excitement in this company. However, potentially that's higher than normal turnover, potentially. Now, first thing I do is look at the chart, and the chart doesn't look that good. We've had a few days like this before. The last one really was on the 27th of December. Share price on that day rose 58.454%, and that was the end of the interest in the company. And some good volume coming through. So, the turnover seems low. It's higher than normal, significantly higher than normal. But again, fairly similar candlestick than what we saw in December. So the most important thing about this is whether we see selling. Now, if you go back to Eldoro Resources back in late December, early January, the sell-off was quite severe. In fact, there was about 20 straight down days in a row. Yeah, share price actually went from about 14 cents down to 8 cents in that period of time. So there is potential that's going to happen again because the share price of this company is in a downtrend. And the question is whether this announcement is strong enough to maintain the interest of buyers. We need to see the enthusiasm of buyers be strong enough to meet the extra supply of shares on the market, because there will be extra supplies of shares on the market because those shareholders who bought at high prices, potentially those who bought on the 27th to 28th of December, are seeing the opportunity to sell out, and there will be a little bit of selling pressure, and we've seen that pressure today. Share price got as high as 12 cents, now it's 10.5 cents. But this is definitely worthy of paying attention to over the next few days. Not quite what I'm looking for in terms of a spec trade, but it's getting close. I'd just like to see the share price at longer than a 3-month high. Share price is at about, say, a 4-month high, but I do think there is a little bit of resistance moving forward. Definitely different than some of the companies I'm trading right now. So that's Eldoro. I didn't expect to see that. The other few, Moshio, Addison, and Middle Island. Should I just check these really quickly? Why not? Moshio, never heard of this before. Moshio Investor Update Webinar, not marked price sensitive, and they will be doing this on July the 19th. So this is just a trading update. Well, it's not a trading update. It's telling the market there is going to be a trading update on the 19th of July. And the other two were, I've already forgotten, AI1 and MDI. AI1, strategic collaboration with 2D generation. Aren't we up to like 3D and stuff like that? What is 2D generation? This is so exciting when you don't know anything about a company. In collaboration with leading semiconductor IP business 2D generation to generate transformation opportunities in the AI space, leveraging A1 or AI's learning in data centers and cybersecurity. Definitely going to put this down, write this one down. AI1. Company I've never heard of, but they're talking about semiconductors, data centers, chips. They've also name dropped NVIDIA, iMac, Valio, Applied Materials, NXP, and Unity. This needs a little bit more research. Let's have a look at the chart for this company. There you go. This is the whole reason I go through this process, to potentially find companies I might like. Addison. And even the chart is starting to look interesting for Addison. This is the whole reason I do this process, to find companies like this. Nice little increase in volume. Not the most exciting chart, but it's getting to the point where I might do a little bit of research on this particular company, Addison. Anyway, just what I read there interests me. And Middle Island Resources, MDI, up 35.24%. They did release an announcement on the 12th, which would have been Friday. Drilling commenced at Barkley Copper Gold Super Project. I don't get excited about those sort of announcements. And did the share price rally? It actually did rally that day. I'm just going to have a quick look at this chart. MDI, 2 really good days in a row, so there could be a little bit of excitement in this company. Yeah. This is moving towards a breakout. I would say this is moving towards a breakout. Those highs we saw, so it's getting past the highs we saw in October. So we are talking about a 9-month high in the share price. So this is another one I'm going to put on my watch list. MDI. So all three of those companies have surprised. And that's all I'm going to talk about when it comes to, SKS Technologies, another good day, up 19.26%. Have to look at the chart for that company. So write that down. And that's Kilo Resources. What else is happening here? Nothing else? Oil or Optiscan Imaging. Let's have a look by market cap. So let's have a look at the big companies that perform well today. I've been thinking of taking profits with Drone Shield. And it's up another 7.3% today. I do think it's getting a little bit silly right now, the valuation of this company. It's almost $2 billion. Nanosonics had a good day. I did actually feature Nanosonics in my technical update video. It looked like it was potentially breaking out. So this is all possible confirmation of that breakout. Now, FBR, another good day, up 9.43%. Atturra did not make it in my top 5, but close. Actinogen is another company I'm trading. So quite a few companies I'm trading on this list. EZZ Life Sciences, another good day, 11.3% up. My portfolio must have had a pretty good day today. I don't have my superhero account here. Maybe I should, just to see how I'm doing. But maybe I could do that in the future during my videos. Mayfield Group, up 7.6%. Okay, so there must be some bad news. There must be bad news. So let's have a look at the top losers. Let's have a look to see if any companies I own are here. Mostly low turnover until we get to Gallen Lithium. I was not going to look at Gallen Lithium, but they did release an announcement today in regards to capital raising. But it sounded okay because it said the capital raising at market value or something like that. What was it? At the market raise. I assuming they are raising at the share price where would have been 16 or 19 cents. So maybe I got that completely wrong. Raising shares at 15.5 cents. I got that completely wrong. I thought at the market raise. It makes more sense now. I thought that meant the share price, the raising was done at share price that was at the closing share price on Friday, which would have been 16 cents, but it's done at 15.6 cents, which makes more sense why the share price has decreased. Okay, so let's not talk about that company anymore. Aussie Broadband down 14.57%. I'm happy it's now above $3. I took or added to my position in this company today because of a complete overreaction from the market. I'll talk about why I think it's an overreaction from the market. The company did have 2 announcements today. No reason, in my opinion, for the market to fret, to get nervous. And I'll discuss why. And Aussie Broadband is the top stock of the day, not because share price has increased a lot, but share price has decreased. And it's led to an opportunity to buy this burgeoning, high-quality company at a much better valuation. Elsewhere, nothing else here. Force Capital is interesting, but low turnover. Let's look by market cap. Adriatic Metals down a lot. I'm glad I was about to trade that. I'm glad I didn't. I might have a look at the chart for that. So it's a silver producer. Emetep, Centurus, Biome, has made it into my top 5 announcements of the day. They did release their Appendix 4C. I actually did a tweet, and I just mentioned in the tweet it was a little bit underwhelming. Yeah, Clearview Technologies, that's another company I am trading in my spec trade portfolio. That's down a little bit. That's okay. I don't expect every single company in my spec portfolio to be up significantly. And that's it. Okay, so let's get to the announcements and top stocks of the day. I'll briefly go through the companies that did not quite make it into the top 5 announcements of the day. I'll do this fairly quickly. So the first one is IkeGPS Group, up 9.33%. They actually released a first quarter financial year 24 performance update. I won't go through the announcement as per se, and all I do is have a look at the chart. Is this a breakout for this company? That's exactly what I'm looking for. And is this a breakout? And I suppose the answer to that question is no. Pretty low volume today. So even though share price is up, fairly low volume, nothing to be overly excited just now. So in fact, I'd say if anything, share price is just going sideways. It's consolidating. It's been going sideways for about 4 or 5 months. I'm not even sure which watch list this company is in. It's in my IT, tech, and software watch list. Another company that did not quite make it into my top 5 is Atturra Limited. They released a couple of announcements today in regards to their results, preliminary results, which seemed okay, and also they're making an acquisition. One of my things I don't like about this company is they are quite acquisitive. In fact, they acquired Cirrus, whatever it's called, Cirrus Technologies or something like that. I wouldn't describe Cirrus Technologies or Cirrus Networks as a high quality company. And Atturra Limited, probably a little bit too labor intensive for my liking. They're more of a consulting company, that sort of thing. In fact, I want to see what they call themselves, like a consulting sort of company. Yeah, consulting. But let's have a look to see what Atturra calls themselves. They call themselves a technology business providing a range of enterprise advisory, consulting, IT services, and solutions with a focus on local government, utilities, education, defense, federal government, financial services, and manufacturing industries. I'm not the biggest fan of these type of companies, advisory, consulting. It is labor intensive, and I'm the biggest fan of labor intensive companies. Company is profitable, so nothing to be concerned about that. So let's have a look at the chart for Atturra. And I have a feeling the chart is not that exciting. No. In fact, the chart is quite uninteresting. In fact, you could say or call this particular chart in a downtrend. They listed on the ASX back in 2022. The chart actually did look pretty good from when they listed all the way through to early 2023, and the share price has been drifting lower ever since then. Up nicely today, but one good day does not change the sentiment and the trend with a chart like this. So that's Atturra. Not my favorite company on the ASX, but I could trade it if I ever see a nice little signal. A company called Love Group, sorry, not Live Group. Love Group. I have no desire to even think about holding shares in this company. They own matchmaking platforms in Singapore, Malaysia, places like that. I'm going to get the countries right because I don't want to mix up the countries. It's definitely Southeast Asia area. I just want to get the countries right. Hong Kong, Singapore, and Thailand. They say Bangkok here, but that's Thailand. So I got Malaysia wrong, looks like. Bangkok's Thailand, isn't it? Was that Malaysia? No, Kuala Lumpur is Malaysia. Bangkok. Oh, gee, I'm be horrible if I got that wrong. Anyway, one of the interesting things about their Appendix 4C is they actually did show you or give you the cash receipts history for this company going back to 2021. And there's very little growth. For this company. But in saying that, the company is operating cash flow positive by 168,000. I just don't think this company is going to grow all that much. Has a market cap of $5 million. It just does not excite me, this sort of business model. But maybe just because it's not for me doesn't mean it can't be for you. Bellevue Gold also released their Appendix 5B. Maybe using the word also is not right because this is the first Appendix 5B I've talked about. They divided their particular announcements into two sections, a quarterly activity report and a quarterly cash flow report. That's exactly what I want to see. A lot of companies combine the two into a big announcement, a long announcement. I prefer those companies who divide it into the activity report and the cash flow report because I only open up the activity or the quarterly cash flow report. This seemed pretty good. I liked it. Increasing cash flow, increasing receipts up to $140 million for the quarter, $287.9 million for the year. So half the receipts happened in the last quarter of the year. So they are ramping up production, and they were operating cash flow positive by $76.7 million in this one quarter, $117 million in the year. This company is performing. And free cash flow positive by 66 million, although that doesn't include mine properties in development, which they spent 31.6 million. Well, I'm unsure whether I should include that into the operations or the free cash flow, but otherwise they're still free cash flow positive, and they have plenty of cash on hand. In fact, cash on hand increased from 21.5 million to 55.4 million. However, market said, no, we don't like this one. We're going to sell, and the share price has sold off. Now, in saying all that, the chart looks pretty good. Even with this sell-off, chart looks pretty good. It's been in a long-term uptrend, a lot of volatility in there. But if you look at the weekly chart, which does try to filter out that volatility, the weekly chart looks brilliant, doesn't it? In fact, the weekly chart breakout happened in 2017 at a share price of 25 cents. In fact, since then, there's been no sell signal. It's been close, but no sell signal since 2017 for this particular company. So share price down 4.6%. A little bit surprised by that. Bellevue Gold, a company called Kinatico, used to be called CV Check. They released an announcement, continued SaaS growth drives profit growth. They always release these sort of announcements for probably the last 5 or 6 years. In fact, this company was free cash flow positive about 5 years ago, and they've just remained at that level for like 5 years. Maybe I'm being a little bit harsh, but let's have a look at the chart for this company. So they had a ticker code CV1. They changed it to KYP when they changed their name. This is the weekly chart for the company, going sideways for the last 5 years. There was a little bit of excitement in this company back in 2019, but yeah, going sideways for 5 years. So even though they keep releasing what sounds like pretty good announcements, the market doesn't fall for it. Let's have a look at the daily chart. Maybe get a bit of a different, no, nothing in the daily chart at all. Not big volume coming through today. So this definitely does not belong in the top 5 announcements of the day. Star Entertainment Group had a little slightly negative announcement today. System performance issues. I won't open it up. It was not that negative, to be honest. And yeah, share price down a little bit, but that could be just noise. And I'm still really closely following this company's share price. But I'm paying attention because eventually the turnaround will come. I'm predicting it right now. Eventually the turnaround will come. And the turnaround, I won't say it's going to be violent, but I think the turnaround could be a long-term turnaround. I wouldn't be surprised to see the share price quadruple from current share prices over maybe a few years, say a 2-year period or so. So definitely following this one for that potential turnaround. Another company is Rubicon. Rubicon Water, up a little bit, trading update. I always like trading updates. It sounded positive. I'm going to have to admit, it sounded pretty positive. Maybe that's just me not knowing much about this company and falling victim to the highlights section. For instance, significant progress across US operations with a record $33 million of orders secured in financial year 24, up 200% from last year. Milestone contract received from Farm Connect solution for California customer, and it goes on and on. Financial year 24 underlying EBITDA reduced to a loss of between 5.3 and 5.8 million. So they're not profitable, operating profitable, yeah, but they are moving in the right direction. So let's have a look at the chart for Rubicon, a company I don't really know all that well, except they have something to do with water. Is a chart showing something else? And the chart says, no, don't pay attention to this company. I have this company in my IPO watch list. So any company in my IPO watch list has listed on the ASX over the past 6 or 7 years, or within the last 6 or 7 years, and I have not done any research on that company since they listed. So let's have a look at the weekly chart for this, and that's why. This is why I have not done any research on this company. They're not profitable, not generating cash flow, and the share price has been in a well-defined downtrend since they listed back in the middle of 2021. That's exactly why. I have no idea what this company does, except something to do with water. And this could be an announcement in the right direction, but I think they need a little bit more work than that. Novonix released their Appendix 4C, and I'll be honest with you, just the same as we've seen in the past. The company produces a little bit of cash flow, a little bit of receipts, not a lot, and they're burning through a lot of cash. Cash receipts in this particular quarter, 1.5 million, burned through $8.4 million of cash. So they're still burning through a lot of cash. They have a fair bit of cash on hand, 47 million, but it was 62 million at the start of the quarter. So they have about 3 quarters of cash on hand left if they continue to burn cash at the same rate we have seen in the last quarter. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. They did mention something about ramping up production or something. So they do batteries. What did they say? I had a quick look at this. I'm not gonna be able to find it. I can tell you that much right now. Of course, as soon as you want to find it, you just can't find it. And I did mention something about increasing. Oh, here it is, right here. In fact, this is from Dr. Chris Burns, CEO of Novonix. We remain confident in our progress towards the 3,000 TPA of capacity at year end. All primary production equipment is in place or has been ordered for this initial production capacity. So it does sound promising of that little bit, but I don't know this company all too well. And the market has sold off a little bit on this, and I can almost guarantee the chart does not look good. Let's have a look at the daily chart because the share price has sold off a lot. Yeah, the chart does not look good. It started to look promising between February and May. Looked like it was trying to move into an uptrend, but that uptrend has failed and the share price has pulled back. So that is Novonix. Another company that's not quite making it into my top 5. And Immuron, which I have done a video on. I think it was stocks I know nothing about. This company does traveling. They produce, manufacture, sell traveling diarrhea medication, which is called Travelan. And apparently, they received record sales globally in Australia and the USA. This actually sounded okay because there's percentage increases. Globally, 174% increase. Australia, 223% increase. This is for the financial year, by the way, but not a lot. It's on a small base. So $4.9 million of sales for the year. And in USA, up to 1.1 million, up 74%. In Canada, if you want great percentage changes, 6,637% increase on the previous corresponding period, up to $100,000. Anyway, so sounds pretty good. And maybe more people getting traveling diarrhea. Not something I've ever really experienced myself, thankfully. But let's have a look at the chart for this company. I'm pretty sure this company has a relationship with the US Department of Defense. So maybe diarrhea or traveling diarrhea is an issue among the military. So let's have a look at the chart for Immuron. And the chart, share price went bonkers on this particular day, up 89.4%. But you can see the following day, share price rose and then fell. And that was the end of the fun for this company. I wouldn't necessarily be overly excited about this particular announcement. Have a look at the weekly chart, or this chart. Have a look at the weekly chart. There's been times in the past when there's been a fair bit of excitement around this company. And you can see in June 2020, massive excitement. Share price of this company in the week of 20th of July 2020 went up 125%. And that was at the close because at one point the share price went to 50 cents. It's 9.8 cents now. In fact, if we go back further, you'll keep seeing these little periods of excitement and the share price pulls up. But generally, share price is going down. And finally, should I even mention Liontown Resources? A new short-term offtake agreement for initial ramp-up of volume. That's fair enough, but it looks like the market is not falling victim to this particular announcement. I never fall victims to offtake agreements. They're just blah sort of announcements in my mind. Seems like The market agrees with me. And Liontown Resources, just like Novonix, looked like share price was trying to move an uptrend, but it's failed. And nothing much to see with this company. Okay, so let's get to the top 5 announcements of the day. I am falling a little bit behind. I thought this was going to be a very quick video, but let's start with number 5. A company called SenSen. SenSen Networks. Share price up 19% today on low volume on 2 trades. Let's look at the course of sales. Yeah, 2 trades are worth $597. Although the next trade, the share price will rise because we have one buyer at 2.8 cents and one seller at 3 cents. No one wants to sell this, but we have seen a little bit of excitement, a little bit more enthusiasm among the sellers or the buyers because the share price started the day at 2.1 cents or finished last week at 2.1 cents. And yeah, and I think the whole reason we have seen quite a few buy bids put in is because of their announcement today. And there is a reason why I think this is interesting. I'm going to have a look at the trade history. It doesn't trade all that often. Only 2 trading days in July, on the 10th of July, 4th of July, and now today. And on the 10th of July, it was only 2,500 shares traded. There was a big day on the 17th of June, 5.8 million shares traded, down 14.3%. So why am I discussing this company? A company I have heard of this company, but I have never had a look at this company. They released their quarterly report today, their Appendix 4C. And there is, in my opinion, there is a bit of a correlation between a company who has a good quarter and their release, their timing of the release of that Appendix 4C. I have no doubt SenSen, the management saw this Appendix 4C and saw their results and went, we have to release this as soon as possible. And that's exactly what I would do if a company I was managing had a really good quarter. So let's go back in time. So in April, they released their Appendix 4C on the 30th of April. In January, they released their Appendix 4C on the 31st of January. So we're talking about the last day they can release it. In October last year, they released it on the 31st of October, the last day they can release it. And in July last year, they released it on the 24th of July. I'm going to open up. This could be a sign. This company has seasonal sales. They released their July or their June quarter a little bit earlier. Now, it's a small sample size, but a little bit earlier. So I'm going to see if this company was operating cash flow or close to operating cash flow positive last June quarter. No, way off. $1 million burn in operating cash flow. Okay, so let's have a look at why this company made it into my top 5. And it's simple enough. I opened up this particular Appendix 4C, went straight to the quarterly cash flow, and I went, ooh, this company is operating cash flow positive. Now, it's small, 350,000, but it's positive. And receipts, $4 million. Went into my little spreadsheet, somewhere here, I can open it up. Went to my little spreadsheet here, which is my Appendix 4C spreadsheet, put in SNS, and I have all the receipts going all the way back to, what is that, January 2018. Now, it's a little bit of a different format. Don't really follow this company all too closely. But they've had greater than $1 million receipts since April 2021. And this was the first time they've had receipts above $4 million. Now, in the June quarter 2022, they had receipts of 3.7 million. In the June quarter last year, it was 3.3 million. So there is a bit of seasonality just based off this. But this was a record receipts for the company. And receipts are growing. So let's go back to their Appendix 4C. Let's have a look at the commentary. And they have a couple of nice little graphs here. So this is quarterly customer cash receipts. A little bit of different format than I do it. They do it in quarters. And if you just look at the fourth quarter, there is a bit of seasonality there. That is or tends to be the best quarter. But receipts are growing. And this is quite obvious when you look at this. Every single quarter, receipts growing up, except the third quarter last quarter was down from the previous corresponding period. Oh, and the fourth quarter, there was one down quarter there. And they're shouting it to the moon. Well, they are shouting it to the moon. Highest ever quarterly cash receipts and cash flow positive quarter. That's exactly what they should do. Oh, dismissal of court proceedings brought against SenSen. What does this company do? Okay, that's actually the next thing I looked at. What does this company do? Because I have never looked at this company in the past. An innovator, well, yeah, you're going to call yourself that, sure. In smart urban management solutions. At that point, I'm like, huh? What? What does that mean? I'm stupid. So if you're talking to stupid people like me, you have to expand on what you do. And they actually do that. SenSen leads the way in AI technology, AI, with the pioneering live awareness AI platform. This revolutionary system analyzes data from cameras and sensors in real world spaces, seamlessly integrating with contextually significant digital enterprise data for safer and more efficient global landscape. That tells me sort of nothing right now. Okay, but then the next paragraph, that's where the cluck or the crux of what this company does is there. SenSen's solutions are alleviating traffic congestion, enhancing road and personal safety, and elevating urban life in prominent cities like Chicago, Las Vegas, Vancouver, Calgary, Singapore, Adelaide, and Brisbane. Additionally, the company's AI-driven technology is generating substantial annual savings for major fuel retail brands, including Ampol, Chevron, Liberty, and BP. If they're creating or generating substantial annual savings, why is your receipts not higher? Anyway, the company is operating cash flow positive. I'm saying this is probably the first quarter they've achieved that. The market cap of this company, I actually don't know. What is the market? What do SNS? I'd say it's like 10 to 20 million, I'm guessing. 19.45 million. So let's have a look at the chart. Now, the one thing about this company is the chart. The chart looks, and the liquidity is quite bad, but the liquidity can improve if we do see an improvement in sentiment around this company. This could be, just it could be at this point, a sneaky trade. Sneaky trade, but the chart looks pretty bad, doesn't it? I'd just like to see the volume increasing. At this point in time, there's no one willing to sell. No one willing to sell at this point in time. I reckon if someone takes out 3 cents, you might just see a rush. Actually, maybe I could do that after this video. No, maybe not. I don't know. Okay, so that's coming in number 5 is a company called SenSen Networks. Sort of interesting name, by the way, SenSen. I like it. Coming in number 4, Curvebeam. Oh, it's down. That's interesting. Initially, I actually did a tweet on this. The share price was up 19%. Now it's down 2%. Not sure why there's been selling in this company today based off their announcement. They did an updated investor presentation, which I have not looked at, so I want to look at that. But this company received FDA clearance for their enhanced high-rise thingy. This is a medical technology company. Device. Someone actually compared. Someone in my comment section said Curvebeam. Let's have a look if I've actually replied to it. Oh no, that's the video section. I don't want to do that. CVB. Here it is. The next Pro Medicus Curvebeam CVB. Huge potential, in my honest opinion. Any thoughts, Kneppy? This is from CH Huntley 5616. So I don't know. I don't know Curvebeam close enough. If you are right, though, you could be right. But it's, I'm going to say, market cap's only 52 million. I'm going to say it's actually unfair on Curvebeam to say, is this company the next Pro Medicus? I would say it's highly unlikely we're going to see another Pro Medicus ever again. That was an absolutely astute acquisition the management of that company did back in, was it 2009? I think it was 2009. One of the greatest acquisitions, not only we've seen in Australia, but we've seen in the world. I'm going to say that again. One of the greatest acquisitions made in the world, maybe not ever, but definitely one of the greatest acquisitions we've ever seen. So it's a little bit unfair to say or call it the next Pro Medicus or Pro Medius, but a couple of things that have me interested about this company. The chart was one of them. So let's go back here. I did sort of like what I read when I went through what they do. So they develop, manufacture, and sell specialized medical imaging scanners coupled with AI SaaS-based clinical assessment solutions to support medical practitioners in the management of musculoskeletal conditions. So whenever I talk about what this company does, I have to read that about section. I could never actually tell you exactly what they do. Their company's flagship CT scanner, HiRise, performs weight-bearing CT scans as well as traditional non-weight-bearing CT scans. Okay, so I think they're in the right space. I like the technology they're doing. And the other thing I like about this company is the chart. It would have been really interesting to see if the share price didn't drop off today. Not sure why there's been a little selling. It's really weird the share price is now lower than at the start, because this does sound like a really interesting announcement. We started to see some big volume coming in the past week or so. Share price starting to rise. And I thought today could have been a bit of a breakout. So a little bit of selling. I definitely will put this onto my potential spec buy watch or spec. Yeah, I'm definitely putting in my spec buy watch list, but the question is whether I take a position remains to be seen right now, just because a little bit of sell off today. So a pretty good announcement from the company, in my opinion, but share price down. Share price down. I'm not sure. Let's have a look at the. I'm going to have a look at the 5-minute chart. This could be a little bit of a dip. If you look at the 5-minute chart, there's a bit of a dip here. Share price did get up to 29 cents at about just or on open. Yeah, so Curvebeam coming in number 4. Definitely one to have a further or closer look. Let's have a look at the 1 hourly chart. You probably see the bit of a sell-off. Yeah, 3 hours in a row. Anyway, and in fact, the 1 hourly chart looks pretty good. And my tech trading strategy uses 1 hour charts, not daily charts, not 5-minute charts. It's using 1 hour charts. And based off this, look at the volume coming through. Based off this is, or could be, a little sneaky buy. So that's Curvebeam coming in number 4. Coming in number 3, we have Biome. Biome. Down 6.21%. They did release their Appendix 4C, and I thought this was a little bit underwhelming. Now, I'm being a little bit unfair on the company. I'm just going to show, I'll open up first, and I'll show you what I've done in my spreadsheet. So this company is great at marketing. That is something they're doing really well. And the reason I say that is if you have a look, go back a year, they keep releasing interesting announcements. So on the 1st of July, Biome achieves record sales. On the 12th of June, Biome expects to exceed financial year 24 forecast. 2nd of April, first quarter of positive underlying cash flow. They are doing a really good job of selling the business. So let's have a look at how they performed in this particular quarter, which is the June quarter. So the first thing I do is go to the statement of cash flows, a consolidated statement of cash flows. Receipts to customers, 3.2 million. It's like, that's a little bit lower than I would have expected. The reason I say that is whenever I am looking at a company like this, I have a look at the most recent few quarters. So the past 2 quarters, they had cash receipts around about or in between 3 million and 3.1 million. In fact, this is the history, cash receipts history. So cash receipts did not grow all that much in the last 2 quarters. So 3 quarters where cash receipts have just gone sideways. But there's a little bit extra to that story than just cash receipts. Now, they were operating cash flow positive, 169,000, which again seems a little bit low, but the story continues. And the most important thing about this is the cash receipts were 3.2 million, but the revenue was 3.8 million. So there is a bit of a difference between receipts and revenue, 600,000. And that is just the company receiving the cash in hand or indoor. And they do mention on the 3rd bullet point, accounts receivable increased from 2.44 to 2.99 million. So there is definitely an argument that the receipts could have been a little bit higher than what they recorded if they received those quarterly sales in terms of cash a little bit earlier than they will receive. And a lot of those sales, those receipts will move into the first quarter of financial year 25. So they recorded the 3rd consecutive quarter of positive cash flow, the 2nd consecutive quarter of positive EBITDA. So things are still moving in the right direction, but I still think it was a little bit underwhelming. I expected a little bit more growth, to be honest. And I think the market might have expected likewise because share price has been on a tear. And I still believe one of the reasons why the share price has been on tear, this is the hourly chart, by the way, which is a beautiful chart. That hourly chart is absolutely stunning. It's actually really ordered, just following this trend perfectly. In fact, the really easy way to trade this is just to put an uptrend line here like this. And as soon as it breaks through that uptrend, just sell. You could do that easily. Okay, but if you look at the daily chart, its share price has been on a tear. It's gone from about 30 cents, more than doubled in a fairly short period of time. We're talking about since the 11th of June. So we're just talking about over a month. It's more than doubled. So there is a bit of little bit of hype in this company. I call it a market darling, I think. And today, there's been a bit of volatility. Share price is down as low as 62.5 cents. So let's have a look at the hourly chart again. Yeah, there was a little bit of selling in the first hour, but the share price has recovered. Yeah, so Biome coming in number 3, an underwhelming Appendix 4C, but still moving in the right direction. Coming in number 2, we have Bravura. This is an interesting one. Bravura Solution, share price flat. So I did a tweet with this company as well, and I said the breakout for Bravura, what did I say? It was $1.12. There's a reason behind that. So let's have a look at the Bravura announcement. Release date for financial year 24 results and guidance update. Oh, so that did pique my interest. So I have been trading this company and I went, ooh, I hope this is not a positive trading update. And it is. It's an EBITDA upgrade. So they're upgrading their financial year 24 unaudited EBITDA guidance to approximately 25 million. Previously, it was 18 to 22 million, resulting in a cash EBITDA guidance of around 10 million. Wait there, or cash EBITDA. The upgraded financial year 24 guidance follows our successful transformation execution over the course of the year. So they're performing well. The turnaround is happening for this company. In fact, the CEO, Andrew Russell, says, we are pleased to deliver EBITDA performance that is ahead of guidance. We have returned to profitability, are growing our cash EBITDA margin, and have a healthy balance sheet. So I did expect a nice little reaction from the market. And I said the breakout level was $1.12. And in fact, there was a heightened interest in this company on open. And in fact, let's have a look at the 1 hourly chart for this company. Now, let's have a look at the 5-minute chart. And you'll probably be able to see BVS. Yep, this actually shows it perfectly. The main interest was on open, and then selling came in on force. So we saw a lot of selling in that first hour. In fact, drove the share price down from a high of $1.30 all the way down to $1.11. In fact, the share price has been as low as $1.08.5. Not much higher than when it closed on Friday. So at one point this morning, it was up by probably at 15 to 20%. Now it's only up 3 and a bit percent. So we have seen a little bit of selling coming in. In fact, the one-day candlestick is fairly similar to the one-day candlestick we saw on the 20th of February. And that day, the share price rallied 30%. So we did see a bit of selling there. And why have we seen selling today? Because all these shareholders who bought between February and May at higher prices consider this company a dog stock because the share price fell after they bought and have to sell out. The volume has been okay, but the enthusiasm of the sellers is outweighing the enthusiasm of the buyers, which pushes the share price down. The whole reason, the share price was higher. If the share price didn't run like this between February and May, if it remained, say, below $1, this would be a great breakout, and there wouldn't be the selling. I can almost guarantee you that. Wouldn't be surprised to see the share price move into an uptrend from here as we see exhaustion of the sellers, because this was a positive update from the company. And I do expect the share price to remain above $1. And I've taken a trading position in this company on those expectations. I could be completely wrong, but I think that could happen. This is a positive update from the company. So hopefully their share price does respond over the next few weeks. Might not, but hopefully it does. And finally, we get to Aussie Broadband. So I've made 2 acquisitions today, Bravura and Aussie Broadband. Aussie Broadband's in my quality portfolio. So that's just me taking the opportunity of buying a company at a better valuation. And I do it a little bit different. In my quality portfolio, if I see a share price of a company fall towards what I can perceive as good value, even though the chart might look horrible, I will take a position or add to my position because it's good quality or high quality company. Completely different when it comes to my trading portfolio. If I see the share price drop, I don't care. I don't care. I'm looking for momentum and positive announcements that will see the share price rally, like Bravura, possibly today, like other companies, Infini, the last few weeks or so. So let's have a look at Aussie Broadband. Share price fell below $3, and that was my trigger. So I bought at $2.97. Share price has now gone up from there. I don't know why the market has sold off. And that's another reason why I bought some or added to my position. So they released 2 announcements today. Sorry, I'm not going to be able to go through comments. We're getting to, in fact, I won't even do charts because we're getting to an hour long. So they released 2 announcements. The first one was they're launching a new digital first challenger brand, leveraging automation and AI. I think they just included automation and AI because it sounds pretty good. It's aimed at disrupting the value-seeking NBN market in Australia. So in a way, this is targeting. I was going to be mean there. No, it's targeting bogans. That's what I'm thinking. It's targeting people who just can't afford the better NBN. So it's targeting, and sort of makes sense. Buddy sort of looks like Bluey in a way. Don't like that either. Yeah. Anyway, they did mention somewhere here. Here it is. This is probably the most important part of the announcement. Funny enough, Aussie expects to invest approximately $10 million in financial year 25 to support marketing, brand, and set up one-off related operating expenditure to support the Buddy launch. That sounds, fair enough. The group expects Buddy will provide positive EBITDA contributions from financial year 27 onwards. They're targeting 100,000 customers within 3 years by leveraging Australia's experience or Aussie's experience in scaling a competitive game-changing offering. And I'll be honest with you, I think they can do it. I think this company and their management can definitely do it. They also released a trading update. Trading update, fine. In fact, their financial year 24 EBITDA is expected to be at the top end of their previous range, which was an upgrade up between 116 and 121 million. They also have financial year 25 guidance. So they did expect EBITDA to be between 135 and 145 million. Now, with this news of Buddy, remember they are spending $10 million to market sell Buddy. So now they say, well, because of this extra spending to promote Buddy, our expected EBITDA is now between 125 and 135 million, which by definition is an EBITDA downgrade. But they explained why. It's only because they're spending this money to market something that could provide some more growth for this company in the future. So in a way, I think what's happened, someone went, oh, this is an EBITDA downgrade. We have to change our numbers in our model. Oh, without even thinking about this new product they're going to be having and selling and possibly being profitable within the next 2 or 3 years. So really interesting trading for Aussie Broadband. Share price down as much as 18% at one point. Share price got down $2.85. And I'm shocked by the market reaction. I think this is one of the weirdest market reactions I've ever seen. I just don't think the market is. I just think this is just the market gone silly. I'm going to stand by that. I think this is just the market gone silly. So anyway, so I've taken an extra position in Aussie Broadband because I expect the share price to be significantly higher than this within the next 5 years. I think significantly higher. And I say significantly, I mean significantly. So whenever I see a share price pull back like this and I see value, I'm going to add to my position. Okay, so that's all I have for the top 5 stocks of the day. I'm going to have a look at a few charts because I have a few minutes, I suppose. Pointerra. Ooh, geez, is this a breakout? That's my question. Is this a breakout we're looking at for Pointerra? A couple of really good days, massive volume coming in. This looks interesting. I probably wouldn't get too excited at this point in time, and this could be just day traders getting really excited, but This one-day candlestick on Friday looks really good. Even prior to that, we started to see a share price rally and not a lot of selling when the share price went sideways leading up to this really good day on Friday. That can be a good sign as well. So I'm not saying this is a breakout. We saw a sort of similar setup back in July last year, although that was on the back of a good announcement. Is this the turnaround for Pointera? Possibly. Another one I wanted to look at was SKS Technologies, because it had a really good day again today. I don't think, I'm not sure if I showed any, I probably would have showed the chart of this company on Friday. Did I mention the volume? The volume is probably the most intriguing thing about this. The volume really good on Friday, some more good volume today, and the share price up even more, up 18%. That's 20 minutes ago. And the most recent share price for SKS Technologies, up 18%. So this is a really good looking chart for SKS Technologies. And Drone Shield. I am thinking I'm taking profits with Drone Shield. It's just rallied so much. It's getting silly. I bought at 74.5. So I have tripled my money since that particular trade. And I made even more money because I had a trade before that. And don't forget, I sold out of my trade at a lower share price at 74.5 cents. And then I bought back in at a higher price when I sold my initial trade. So never be afraid to buy in at a high price from when you sold, because here's a good example. I've more than tripled my money on this particular trade. The question becomes, is this a sell? I don't like how it's gapped up on open this morning. That could be, there's a word for that. I forget what it is. This could be the sort of a topish. This could be time to think about selling. Drone Shield. I'm going to be thinking about that in the next 30 minutes as we wind down the trading day. Nanosonics on the flip side, possibly more like 3D Pointera. But why did the share price open high today? The company didn't release any news, did it? Nanosonics. Oh, they did. I missed this. Completely missed this. Why did I miss this? Because it was not marked price sensitive. Every single trading update should be marked price sensitive, and the market reacted quite positively to this. So obviously it was sensitive. I am really peeved off right now. Okay, so Nanosonics. Okay, I have not even read this. That's how stupid this is, because it was not marked price sensitive. Now you might say you should probably all look at all. You should not. This is what I do. I filter via market sensitive. But if you don't do that, you just get so many announcements. So 99 price sensitive announcements versus 225, and it's just so many. It's just a really easy way to filter out rubbish. But sometimes, on the rare occasion, a company will release an announcement that should be price sensitive and it's not marked price sensitive. And here is another instance. But it's okay. It's okay. So this must be positive. And I'm going through this really quickly. I'm not talking about it, but it looks positive. It looks positive. The share price was trying to break out. I think I didn't feature this company on my technical update video. It looked like it was trying to break out on last week. And this could be not the best candlestick, but this could be almost verification that share price of Nanosonics is breaking out on the back of a positive trading update. But look, the share price has been higher in the past, so there will be resistance moving forward for Nanosonics. So definitely not one. I am a shareholder of the company. I'm definitely not even thinking of selling out of Nanosonics. Okay, so I'm really glad I got to Nanosonics, because this is a surprise. Why is it not marked price sensitive? It should be. And there's going to be a lot of people like me who completely missed it. Okay, so I did actually answer one question, I suppose. That from CHH Hundley 5616. So thank you. And I will answer this one from Eat Day Trader for BF. Hey Kneppy, lovely content. I recently discovered your channel and have been following your channel ever since. Keep them coming. I plan to. Question, from your experience, how does uranium stocks perform after discovering high-grade deposits? What is expected of IkeGPS Infini share price index 6 months? Don't know. That's an easy answer. I have no idea. Now, don't forget, uranium is now a favored commodity. So we haven't seen many uranium stocks performing at all over the last 10 years because of what happened in Fukushima, 2009? Is that 2009? Something around there. And I'm not an expert in uranium stocks, so I have not really seen many uranium finds. I88 or Infini is probably the first one I've followed a little bit more closely just because of how the market responds or has reacted. So no idea how uranium stocks perform. So that's why I did a fair bit of research, looked at how to look or how to not grade, how to view these discoveries. And your second question, so I have no idea. That's the first question. I have no idea. Not even sure if uranium stocks perform differently than other significant discoveries. More than likely it shouldn't, but I just don't know. What is expected of Infini share price in next 6 months? It could go up 300%, it could drop 80%. No idea. So the way I'm trading Infini is easy. Okay, I'll show you Infini. I have no idea. No idea. I can't read the future. Now, this is running. So this company listed not long ago, January this year. Share price dropping down and down and down. They released something on the 1st of July. Share price on that day rose 119%. Now, that's the first good sign. The second good sign is the 4 days after, or 3 days after that, share price did not dive. It did not drop significantly. So what I do is, if I don't see significant selling after the company releases the announcement, that typically is a good sign. And then the share price rose 36% on the 5th of July. And then the company released another announcement and the share price rose 50% on that day. And then I bought in just after that. I bought in on a little bit of a dip. But what I'm doing with these companies is I'm not looking at the one-day chart. And now the share price has risen a fair bit today, which is another good sign. But what I'm doing is just looking at the 1 hourly chart. And the 1 hourly chart looks really good. So I bought on this little dip here. I forget exactly how much I bought. I can tell you. No, I can't. Where is it? So I bought on this some sort of dip here. I don't think I bought at the bottom. Definitely did not buy at 64 cents. But I definitely bought somewhere in here. I think it might have been 68 cents. And that's what I'm going to do with Infini Resources, because I have no idea how much the share price could rally from here. It could go up tenfold from here. I just don't have a clue. So I'm going to be using shorter term charts really just to trade companies like this. For instance, Infini. I'll go through. In fact, that's what I'll do right now. So I've got Clio Diagnostics, Botanics, Clearview, which looking fairly weak right now. Race Oncology. Some of these aren't the best, but yeah. Encounter, Hytera, Actinogen, Kili Resources, which has responded okay today. Couple of nice bounces off the short-term moving average channel. Infini, which I've already shown you. And on Friday, I bought some Waratah Minerals on this drop. I bought it 24 cents. Share price actually did drop to 23 cents briefly on Friday, but I thought this was a nice little drop. On the, maybe not the hope, on the expectations, the possibility the share price might rebound after this. Because if you look at the daily chart, this company had four big down days in a row, and share price has rallied a little bit today. Anyway, so that's what I'm trying out, and so far it's working pretty good. This portfolio is up almost 10% so far this financial year. So unfortunately, the answer to your questions, I have no idea. If I knew what the share price might be in 6 months, I'd be the richest man in the world. We just don't know. It's the future. We just don't know. And that's the honest truth. Okay, so that's all I've got for today's video. If you have any questions, any thoughts, leave those in the comment section of this particular video. Otherwise, I'm not a financial advisor. If you do need financial advice, make sure you seek out someone who is qualified and can speak to your own financial needs. That's it for this video. Have a good day. Bye.